Welcome to Project Heal Yourself, where we are asking top healing experts to give you an experience of their best healing technique right here on this call. It is so great to have you here. I am your host, Kayleen, and if you are taking part in this event, that means you have read and agreed to our terms and conditions located at projecthealyourself.com/disclaimer. Make sure you have downloaded your instruction book on this page and have it ready to go as you listen along. There will be nuggets of information you will not want to miss. Today we are speaking with healing expert Lee Holden, the man most noted for bringing the ancient powers of Qigong to the West. Lee is one of the premier teachers in Chinese medicine, primarily in Qigong, and you may have seen him on his PBS television show or online on one of his various online training programs. Lee's modern approach to this ancient technique has landed him on dozens of television and radio shows. And he started this exploration after a sports injury took him out of the game, so to speak. And after his injury, he experienced an almost miraculous recovery that sparked his interest in these ancient Chinese healing arts. Now, 27 years later, Lee is an international instructor of meditation, Tai Chi, and Qigong, and he is masterful at these healing modalities and continues to teach worldwide, as well as teaching from his center in Santa Cruz, where he's now teaching other people how to teach Qigong, which is super exciting. Here to bring us answers from this ancient healing art is Lee Holden. Hi, Lee. It is so great to have you here today.
Great to be here. Thanks, Kayleen.
Yeah, I'm super excited to have you here, Lee. Qigong is actually a really fast and effective way to deal with health and healing. I've learned little tidbits here along the way, and I know it's one of those really effective things that not many people know about yet. So it's really great to have you here. And so for all of you out there that have been dealing with issues such as chronic pain or stress, sleeping problems, or even lack of focus, I mean, it really ranges the gamut, then you're going to want to stay tuned for this interview where Lee translates this ancient healing form for us. So we're talking to Lee and other experts like him because we know that many people like you are dealing with health challenges and you're seeking answers. And that's why one of our experts on Project Heal Yourself are going to teach us about the most effective methods in energy healing. In this interview, you are going to learn about this mysterious energy in your body called Qi and how simple breathing, movement, and visualization can change your life. At the end of this session, you will walk away feeling more relaxed, alert, and after the special technique that Lee is going to share, it will definitely bring out a childlike spirit and joy. So we're really excited about this. Lee, I know you have been teaching this for a very long time, but and I'm sure you get asked this a lot, but if you could please tell us, what is Qigong?
What is Qigong? Well, this is one of my favorite topics. It starts with Chinese medicine, comes from ancient practices of self-healing in China. Qigong and Qi means life force energy. Now, life force energy can be utilized for really anything you want. And specifically, life force energy is used for self-healing because the body is really the greatest healer. And if we can just tap into that life force energy and get it to circulate in the right way, the body finds its own natural rhythm and balance. So Qi means life force energy, and the Gong part, Qi Gong, means to work with, in a skillful way, your life force energy. Right? To work with your life force in a skillful way as opposed to an unskillful way where we have too much stress, not enough energy, fatigue, and all kinds of problems. We call this an unskillful way of working with your life force energy. A skillful way of working with your life force energy is when we know or we have inner resources to be able to heal ourselves and to kind of take ourselves in our lives where we are right now in the direction that we want to go.
So when you talk about this life force energy, is this like when you have energy, like, oh, I have energy in the morning or I don't have it in the afternoon? Is that the same thing?
Yeah, it actually is. People intuitively understand, like if you ask them, how's your energy? People will answer, oh, it's either, I feel good. When we're asking, how are you doing? We're really asking, how's your energy? Energy is a vast term. In fact, in the ancient classics of Chinese medicine and Qigong, there's 300 different kinds of Qi. So we get energy from different things. Like we get energy from eating. We get energy from our relationships. We get energy, like you said, from sleep. Main place that we get energy, and actually the quickest source of energy, is how we breathe. So breathing is always a reflection of how you're feeling energetically. So when we're taking long, slow, deep breaths, it's a way in which the body restores its energy and comes back to a natural balance. And so often in Qigong practices, it's breathing exercises. We breathe deeply while we're stretching, we breathe deeply while we're flowing, and we train the mind, body, spirit to be in harmony, all three aspects of ourselves to be in harmony. And this gives us that state of inner balance.
So I really love what you're saying here, and I love the meaning of Qigong. I never knew that. And so what you're saying is that we use what we have naturally, our bodies and our breath, to handle our energy with skill, basically, or with intention, or to handle it artfully, so that we can achieve optimum health. And what do we achieve out of Qigong? Like, what are the optimal benefits?
I'm nodding my head. Yes, I think what you're saying. Yes, yes, that's exactly right. Another translation of qigong is it means an expertise at working with energy, and energy is everything, and it really is what we're all seeking. We seek things externally. New house, new relationship, new job, but really what we want from those things is a certain feeling, a certain sensation, a certain kind of energy. You know what I mean? So we want that new relationship so we feel the energy of love. We want, the new house so we feel the energy of contentment or relaxation. So everything we're looking for has an energetic component. We call this the internal, or the yin of the yang, the inside, the feeling and the energy that we get from all the material substances in our lives. So in Qigong, we say, go for the energy first. That way, the external world, our relationship with the external world, we can relax into it because we have that energy inside of ourselves.
And so is this something that anyone can do? I mean, because when you talk about energy, I'm thinking like, well, do you do it? Do you have to, did you do it on me? Or is this something that I naturally can just do on my own?
Right. You can naturally do it on your own because everyone has energy, because they're alive, life force. Anybody or anything that's alive has this animating force within them, can work with their chi and work with their energy and work with it in a more skillful way. And specifically, Qigong was used for health, vitality, and in modern times, it's even more practical now than I think it was in ancient times, because we use it for less stress and more energy. It really boils down to these two things. How do we get less emotional and mental stress in our lives? How do we transform that into this feeling of mental relaxation and physical vitality? And modern life sort of tilts this or tips this on its head, where we have too much energy in our heads, meaning we overthink things, we have mental stress, and this depletion of energy in our bodies. And so this creates a state of imbalance where we get tension, tightness, pain, insomnia, digestive issues, cardiovascular issues, low immune function. All these things come from this basic imbalance of energy.
Okay, that's really interesting that you mentioned that, because see, in my mind, I guess I always thought that Qigong, because I've seen that it has some movement in it, and I know some people have asked me, like, Qigong, is that like yoga? Or, what is that like? And,
Right.
so what you're really saying, though, is that it's more about inner balance. It's more of an internal process. And through that internal process, by reducing stressors from our external environment, that's how we begin to achieve the state of health, rather than some external doing in order to achieve health. Is that right?
That's correct. I mean, a big part of the qigong practice is movements and stretches and breathing exercises. But part of what I teach is, how do we break the cycle of stress that's happening in our lives? And it's not about changing the external. It's not necessarily about changing what you're doing in your life, but how we respond to it. There's this whole concept of flow in qigong. How do we go with the flow? How do we be a river that moves around the rocks, as opposed to just kind of crashing into those rocks and feeling stress, tightness, and a sense of dissatisfaction with our lives? because I'll give away one of the secrets is that stress isn't real. It's the way in which we interpret the energy coming in through our senses and how our mind responds and sort of metabolizes our experience. We interpret things and then we say, oh, that's stressful. For example, one person can, go on a roller coaster ride and have the best time, and all kinds of wonderful energy will go on in their body. And in fact, healing chemistry happens when you're having a thrilling good time. And another person can go on the same roller coaster and be terrified, and you'll get a whole different internal experience, a whole different internal energy, and that person will have detrimental chemistry happening in their body with adrenaline and cortisol. And so there's somewhere within us that we interpret our external world as either being stressful, where we go into a fight or flight mode, or as joyful, and we go into more of a relaxation mode. And we can see this with everyday life things like sitting in traffic. What do we do when we're sitting in traffic, or we're talking to a family member or a boss? How do we, instead of interpreting something as stressful and going into tight muscles and constriction, how do we go, okay, there's a way in which I can break that cycle so I don't have to internalize this stress and have it wreak havoc on my system, where my immune system will go down and my muscles will tighten up and I feel, all contracted inside. And part of it is just being able to learn how to take a deep breath, or to switch a few different things inside energetically, so that the stress in our lives that is very real for us cannot be internalized and digested as a healing crisis or a health problem. And instead we transform it back into something that's vital and vibrant, and a way in which we can go with the flow more effortlessly.
It's really huge what you're saying right now. I mean,
it really is.
it
Yeah,
really is huge what you're saying.
It gives us an empowerment.
Yes.
We get empowered. We don't, stress isn't necessarily real. It's how I process it, how I interpret it, how I have resources where I don't have to go into a stress mode, and I can go into a flow mode rather than being contracted.
Right, because so often we feel like it's happening to us and there's nothing we can do about it. And
Right.
what you're suggesting is that not only is there something we can do about it, but there's a very simple way, very easy and simple way of dealing with it and transforming it. And with that, it's not just stress that Qigong is useful for. I mean, you yourself actually had healing from physical pain. Is that right?
Oh, that's correct. I mean, pain is one of the biggest stressors. When you're in pain, it's a big stress on the system. And if we can relax into it, and there's a way in which we fight with our bodies, but pain is really a signal. It's a message saying, pay attention here, make some changes in your life there. If we can learn to listen and relax into our pain, all kinds of wisdom bubbles up to the surface, where we go like, we get a message. It becomes our greatest teacher. It becomes our guide, instead of something that we have to fight against. And just going back to stress, all kinds of research is showing that stress is one of the major causes of the majority of illnesses in our country or in the Western world. Stress causes not only pain and muscle tension, headaches, and insomnia, but it really wreaks havoc on the cardiovascular system and the immune system. They're saying like 90% of doctor visits are rooted in stress. And the big thing in Qigong is, how do we uproot the cause of these physical ailments? How do we uproot the source of it? And stress seems to be the source of many physical ailments. And so I think that's where Qigong comes into play, is that it is one of the best forms of exercises and practical tools and techniques to transform stress back into some vital energy.
And how long has it really been around for? Because this is something that is not new, right? I mean, it's new to us because, we're really looking to you for all the answers. It's new to us in the West, but it's been around for quite a long time. Can you tell us a little bit more about the history and where it's come from?
It's funny because we call it New Age, right? But these are like 5,000-year-old practices. And these 5,000-year-old practices, and the same comes from India, the Indian tradition of Ayurveda and yoga, and in Chinese medicine, Qigong, and acupressure, and all these things have been around a very, very long time. So it's like a well-trodden path. These paths of self-healing and self-care have been around for over 5,000 years and work extremely well. Now, Qigong springs forth out of Chinese medicine, and there's really 5 branches of Chinese medicine. Acupuncture and herbal medicine being 2 of those branches. Nutrition and massage therapy are the other branches, as well as Qigong, breathing exercises, exercise, meditation, and ways to tap into our own healing powers come from Qigong therapy. Now, Qigong has evolved into very practical techniques, breathing exercises, stretches, and physical conditioning to move the energy in the body. There's a saying in Qigong that flowing water doesn't get stagnant. And the same is true with our bodies. When our bodies are in movement, when we have good, healthy movement in our bodies, the Qi, the life force energy, doesn't get stagnant. And stagnant energy is what leads to pain, tightness, low vitality, and even depression. And so we're looking at ways to uproot the source of our stress, the source of our pain or problems in the body, and transform it into vital life force energy. It's similar to the way Chinese medicine looks at the body the same way a gardener would tend to garden. So we look at ways like old energy is seen as compost or fertilizer for growing virtuous, positive life force energy. So there's nothing bad necessarily about negative energy or stress. It's just ways in which we can transform it into something that is useful. It gives us perspective and a way to relate in life where we don't have to cling on to the negative, but we can use it as something transformative and to grow from.
And what kinds of results do people typically see when they start practicing? I mean, is this something, and I'd also love to know about how much people have to practice, because that's always one of the first things. Actually, I should have started with that. Like, okay, before you even tell me what this is, how much time is it going to take?
Yeah, it all sounds well and good, but what's my time commitment, right? The good thing, there's the good and the bad. Qigong works. That's for sure. It's been around so long. I've seen it work for myself and, thousands of people that I've taught. I mean, it works even better than I ever expected. The bad thing is you actually have to practice it to make it work, right? It doesn't come in a magic pill. But this is extremely important because we all have amazing healing resources and power inside of ourselves. And it doesn't take all that much time to transform and tap into those healing resources. I would say under 10 minutes, you can create a shift in your energy. You can go from being in a stressed out place into a more relaxed place in under 10 minutes. And to activate what we call like the preventative energy in the body, something under 15 minutes a day, and you're going to be, incredibly more relaxed, happier, healthier by doing this practice than you would have otherwise been.
And is this something that you would encourage people to just learn for themselves? Because I know, even I often seek out, like, there are different types of healers, or there's different types of, like, even massage therapies and all these sort of things that you can go and get someone to do something on you or for you. But this is really more something you do on your own. And is that really what you recommend?
I mean, sometimes it takes some teamwork, but when you always have yourself. And it's your body. Nobody's going to be invested in you like you are yourself. And so we can go to our massage therapists, our acupuncturists, and healers. I think that's fantastic, especially these natural sources of healing energy work. But when you have something you can do with yourself, it becomes synergistic with whatever else you're doing. And it is extremely empowering to be able to go, I can do this visualization and this breathing exercise and this movement, and I'm going to feel so much better inside my own body, and my mind and body will feel balanced. And there's a way in which I can clear emotional stress that might lead to a physical ailment or some kind of dysfunction in my body. So I think that's extremely important and powerful for people to be able to tap into their own resources with this practice.
And so what would you say to people who aren't, when they want to know, like, how long do the results last? Even
Right.
As you're talking, I can see myself thinking, like, okay, well, let's say I start doing it, but then I don't continue,
Mm-hmm.
What is it how do we continue on with the practice, and how do we continue to get good results?
Here's the thing with Qigong, people usually feel so good that it doesn't take much convincing to go like, oh man, I have to practice Qigong. It feels good. It's like, there's a saying in Zen, it says first ecstasy, then the laundry. And that ecstatic, blissful feeling arises from this practice. And in Qigong, we say there's two ways of healing through pleasure and healing through pain. And Western medicine often focuses on this healing through pain, surgery or drugs with side effects, chemotherapy. These would all be healing through pain, where Chinese medicine, and especially Qigong, is healing through pleasure, through activating these wonderful healing chemistry and chemicals that go on in our bodies through energy, and where we feel a sense of lightness, relaxation, bliss, and these wonderful feelings that come from the practice. So that's a big motivating factor for most people, is that they can't wait to get to do this practice. And the side effects are, man, I feel happier, I feel more joyful, I'm not catching colds, the pain in my body is just kind of dissolving on itself or all by itself. And also, that said, the good news is that it doesn't take a long time to drop into that healing space. Even 2 or 3 minutes of doing some internal breathing and a little visualization, as I'll show you, will be a wonderful way to sort of compost stress and transform it back into vitality, or take that ailment that's been kind of nagging us and have it dissipate and dissolve.
I gotta tell you, Lee, it kind of sounds too good to be true. You're telling me I'm gonna want to do it because it feels so good. I'm not gonna. The side
It's
effects
true.
are I'm gonna feel good. It's all about feel
I have,
good.
people that come to my class. There's a whole bunch of Qi junkies out there now. They just they're high on Qi, and it's a great thing. They're gonna have to try it.
I can imagine that this is popular in our modern world, like as much as it's needed in our modern world because of the stresses of constant communication, constant bombardment of information. We also are very much immediate gratification. We're conditioned for it. Right. And so
Right.
I think it's really exciting, this notion of being able to just tune in for a brief moment or a few brief moments, maybe 15-minute moments of,
Uh-huh.
breathing and awareness. And like you said, even some gentle stretching or movement that can help bring me back to a homeostasis or a more natural state where I'm able to deal with things a little bit easier.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I know you're going to share an exercise with us today, which I'm really excited about. And before we get to that, I'd love to know, what do we need to do to prepare for an exercise like this?
Not much of anything. I think it's just finding a comfortable place to sit down. This will be a Qigong exercise called the inner smile meditation. Now, a lot of Qigong is done standing and doing, like we said, doing some movement or stretches. It's sort of a kind of a combination between maybe simple yoga stretches and simple Tai Chi movements, where there's a lot of flow. But this particular exercise is a meditation and a visualization to do what we were just saying, to compost negative energy and transform it into vitality. So this is one of the Qigong exercises for internal healing and to create this internal state of balance and wellness and tapping into our own inner resources.
That sounds awesome. So do we have to know, like during the exercise, is there anything that we're going to have to do? Or more importantly, do we have to feel energy, or will we feel energy during the exercise?
Absolutely. A lot of people feel energy by visualizing or putting attention, because the energy is already there, right? There's the life force that's flowing through you. Your heart is already beating, even though maybe you're not paying attention to it. But if we bring awareness there, we'll be able to notice, oh yeah, there is a rhythm there. There's a life force. Think of Qi as that spark behind the heartbeat. It's the force behind the nervous system that powers our consciousness, and it's the energy that flows and circulates through every cell in your body. And so by bringing awareness there, we'll be able to feel this electricity, this life force. And it's quite an exciting thing. If you haven't felt the Qi moving in your body, it's as I was just describing, it's electrifying. You feel it, and it opens a whole new set of doorways to your internal experience and ways in which we can connect to life.
I'm super excited. Okay, so in preparation for this, you're saying we just need to have like a comfortable place. So preferably no driving, please, while doing this exercise.
Right? You if you are driving, you just smile basically and keep those eyes open. But this is a meditation, so what I'd recommend is kind of quiet place, um, sitting down or lying down. This can be done before going to sleep. It's a wonderful way in which you can clear the old energy of the day and prepare the body for rest. If it's in the morning, this will set up your mind to have that positive internal demeanor and mental attitude. When the energy is flowing and circulating in just the right way, wonderful things tend to happen. We sort of attract out those wonderful things in life. Qigong is called the art of effortless power. And if you've ever had a day that just flowed, where wonderful things happened and you met the right people and you had the good conversations, it's kind of training how to have more of those moments, how to have more of those moments of awakening or connection or power that just feel like you're really in touch with life. And the inner smile is one of those techniques that will help us to get in touch with ourselves so that we have that positive energy that it just exudes forth from within us.
Fantastic. I can't wait.
Yeah, there's a saying in Qigong that we say, the visualization leads the mind, and the mind leads the Qi. So where your attention goes, your energy will follow. And so this is what we'll be working with, the power of our mind and our consciousness to move the life force energy in the body.
Okay, so Lee, I know that a lot of people maybe haven't actually felt energy before or don't know how to connect to the energy in their body. So do you have any quick tips or techniques that you could help us activate that or have some experience of our energy?
Yes, absolutely. And I think this is a really important point because we can talk about it or intellectualize about what Qi is or whether we believe in it or not. But to truly get an experience of what Qi is in your own body will make the biggest difference. It creates the big shift. So one way to feel energy is through simple movement. And the easiest place to feel energy is in the hands. So let's go ahead and do this. Bring your hands down to your sides and then just shake your hands out, almost like you were an athlete before a race. You know how Olympians do this before an event? And this is actually one way to clear stress out of the system if you ever need to. You just shake the hands, the wrists, the arms. Try shaking from your shoulders down to your wrists. And just do it vigorously for about 30 seconds. So just take a deep breath, long exhale out through the mouth, and shake the arms out real vigorously. And this will activate the Qi, the circulation, and the nervous system. You all doing it? Shake, shake, shake.
Yep,
And then,
yep. Shaking.
then relax. And now feel your energy. Just hold your hands very still at your sides. And you should feel this electricity in the body, this internal energy. That electricity, that buzzing, tingling, that warm sensation is what we call Qi, is the life force energy that's activated. And it really does connect to both your nervous system, your circulatory system, your blood flow. But it is something entirely different. It's sort of the foundation to all the systems in the body. It's kind of like the electricity that goes to your computer. Without the electricity, nothing else works. It's the power behind the heartbeat. It's the power behind the nervous system. And we can actually feel that in the hands after some exercise. And shaking is one of the best Qigong exercises there is.
This is amazing. I mean, I can actually feel like a heat and some tingles moving up my arm from my hands. This is amazing.
Isn't that great? So anytime you feel like you need to feel your energy, or this one is especially good for stress, and little kids and athletes know this because before events, people are shaking because it switches that stress response back into a relaxation response. So when you need to, you just shake the hands to the side, take a real deep breath, shake, 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 and then relax.
That's fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. That is definitely what I needed to get started. And now actually you're going to be sharing with us the meditation technique, which I understand involves smiling.
That's right. And just like we activated our energy by doing a body movement, in Qigong we can do now meditation movement where we're directing energy through the mind.
Okay, great. So Lee, are you going to be, so we just have to follow along with you and put our attention wherever you tell us to put it. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, what we'll do is we'll get comfortable. It'll be a wonderful way to get in touch with our bodies. And for example, in Chinese medicine, the relationship with the body and energy is kind of the body is the material and the energy is the immaterial. Or another way to look at it is that we have, like, let's say water. Water can be ice, it can be condensed into ice, but it also could be steam. And even though it's in one state, whether it's ice, water, or steam, it's all the same substance. It's all H2O. So the body is going to be one state and the energy is in a different state, but it's still the same substance. It's still your own life force energy. And for example, just an example of this would be your heart. Your heart is a function of circulating the blood through your body. And we would say, I love you with all my heart, or love comes from the heart. Love would be an energy from the heart. So this would be, love would be like the steam and the mist that comes out of the sort of the physicality of the heart. And this is what we'll be working with. We'll be working with all the internal organs and these wonderful energies that come forth from the body and how to activate them.
That sounds wonderful. That sounds
ready
really
to
good.
Try it?
I am so ready.
All right. So I think main thing is get comfortable. Get comfortable and find a comfortable place where you can lie down, sit, and just relax. This will be a guided visualization, guided meditation. So go ahead, close your eyes. And the first thing to visualize would be this wonderful, warm, radiant light, as if you're watching a sunset. The beautiful golden glow on the horizon. And just take a nice deep breath into that. Use that sunset image as a way to uplift the energy in your face. Uplift the energy in your face. We know from modern research that smiling is extremely powerful. Smiling is extremely powerful. It's contagious. It creates positive energy. Now, what we're going to do is self-direct this smiling energy through the system to create healing and positive energy through our own bodies, minds, and spirits. Feel as if that golden light from the horizon shining on your face just uplifts the corners of the eyes and uplifts the corners of the mouth. So it's a very subtle, almost Mona Lisa-like smile on your face, like you know a secret. Take a deep breath into that. Breathe that golden light from the horizon into your face and start to feel this shimmering light moving from the face inward, relaxing your mind. Breathe golden light into your mind. This golden light, you can visualize it like sunlight shining on water, this shimmering, sparkling quality. And just let this light dissolve and dissipate any negative thoughts, any mental stress, and allow it to bring your mind into the present moment. Just relax into the space where you are. As you take a deep breath, just know that this moment is perfect just the way it is. As you accept the moment just the way it is, it gives us firm foundation to make changes. We accept the moment right where it is, and then we have that firm foundation to guide the energy in a new direction, in a healing path. Feel this smiling energy on your face and now shimmering through the mind, through the brain, and the whole cranial area, like sunlight on water. Take another deep breath and breathe this golden light towards the back of the head. Breathe that golden light towards the back of the head and let it shimmer down the back of the neck, through the muscles in the shoulders and the upper back. As it moves through the muscles, it's like warm honey just moving through the muscles, clearing tension and tightness. You can just feel that smiling energy, that honey-like relaxation moving down the muscles next to the spine, all the way down to your lower back. Just feel everything relax and soften. Take another deep breath and breathe this golden light right through the spine and feel the light shimmering through the nervous system. And this will help to transform any chronic stress into relaxation. We move from stress mode into relaxation mode. It's often said that healing happens from the parasympathetic nervous system, from that branch of the nervous system where we feel like we're on vacation, where we feel relaxed, connected, and in touch with life. So feel this energy, this smiling light going down the back through the nervous system, activating your body's internal healing power. Your body is the best healer. And feel that warm, radiant light again shining on your face. It's as if one ray from the sun, from the sunlight shining on your face. It's a special connection to the universe, your own personal connection. Breathe that light into your face and let it just shimmer down through the neck and into the heart center. Breathe smiling energy into your heart. And feel any stress from any of the various relationships in your life just evaporate, just distill and dissolve. Any stress from work, family, loved ones, friends, any relationships in your life that feel constricting in your heart, smile into the heart and feel that energy start to transform, start to dissolve and dissipate back into a purified energy. As that energy dissolves and dissipates, you can visualize your heart like a red rose blossoming into that smile, blossoming into that sunlight. Your heart just opens, expands, and is ready to receive all the wonderful experiences from life. Know that your heart is a wonderful filter to let go of stressful energy, negative emotions, and to bring in and receive positive experiences and let it circulate. Let go of the negative and receive and hold the positive. A smile is this wonderful golden light that comes in from the universe, and then we're going to direct that energy internally to awaken, to turn on the switches of healing energy inside you. Take a deep breath and direct your attention to your lungs. This is like sunlight shining on two beautiful white flowers. Just feel these white flowers blossoming into that sunlight of the smile. Breathe in a little deeper. And when you exhale, just exhale any sadness or depression. Anything feeling heavy on your energy system, just let them go on that exhale. Smiling to the lungs brings in inspiration. When you inhale, you become inspired. You take life in. When you exhale, you let go of the past and allow old energy to dissipate, dissolve, and transform. Full deep breath in, long exhale going out. And we'll direct that smiling energy to the right side of the rib cage. This is where your liver is. The liver is this amazing organ that does so many different things for your body. Over 500 different functions. The liver emotionally is said to store frustration and anger. So I want you to smile to the liver and feel it transform. Feel this lightness and relaxation moving through the liver area on the right side of the rib cage. You can visualize this like sunlight moving through trees. Sunlight, this warm, radiant energy moving right through the trees, right through the forest. The liver is connected to the wood element of the body. And this transforms stress, anger, and frustration And it transforms it into internal kindness. It also transforms it into benevolence and creativity. So that instead of being tunnel vision with our stress, our horizons expand and we become creative in solving problems and activating solutions. Take a deep breath, smile to the liver, feel golden light streaming through the trees. Breathe that fresh energy into your liver. We're turning on the healing energy through different systems of the body. Now turn your awareness to the left side of the rib cage. This is where your stomach and your spleen is. And we'll smile golden light into this area of the body. Emotionally, this area is associated with worry. If energy opens and awakens here, energy relaxes in the mind and we feel centered. If energy is out of balance with this system, we feel anxiety, mental anxiety, and worry. So as you breathe into the left side of the rib cage, feel the mind relax. Feel golden light shining through the left side of the ribs, transforming worry into the sense of being open, relaxed, centered, and intuitive. When your mind is open, we become much more intuitive. Our perceptions of life become expanded. Take a deep breath, smile to the left side of the rib cage, feel centered and balanced. And then direct your attention to the lower back area. This is where your kidneys are. And we're going to turn on the healing energy in the kidneys. This will transform fear into a sense of inner peace and tranquility. Smile to the kidneys. Like sunlight shining and sparkling on water, the kidneys are associated with the water element, activating that sense of deep relaxation, inner peace, and tranquility. Take a really long, slow, deep breath and allow this healing light just to wash through the kidneys. And now, wherever you might need a little extra healing energy, bring your attention there. Bring your attention there and just smile into that area. And feel and sense if there's any message from your body that you might need to hear. Any changes in your life that your body's trying to get you to understand, or any guidance and wisdom from your body. Just be open to receive that now. Just let your attention move through the body. Notice anywhere that your attention's drawn and whatever message your body might be trying to tell you. Sometimes it's slow down, take time for yourself, be out in nature, feel connected, take time to reflect inward. The answers are inside you. The healing power is within you. Breathe into it, smile inward, and tap into those wonderful internal healing resources that you have within. And to close this meditation, you can just bring both hands over your navel, over your center, and take a couple of deep breaths right into the belly. We say this is your original Qi. This is your reservoir of being able to store healing energy inside yourself. So both hands over the belly, take a deep breath, feel internally connected and balanced. Feel this wonderful life force energy circulating inside you. And now what you can do to even feel your energy is just hold your hands, palms facing towards each other, and just see if you can feel some energy in your hands. Bring the hands a little closer together and then a little further apart. And you might feel a little current or electromagnetic energy. Especially after we do a meditation, this current, this energy becomes active in your body. So just notice that. If you point your hands towards each other and go back and forth a few times, this wonderful energy, this electricity and life force. You might be able to sense it a little bit stronger than you normally would. And so that concludes our inner smile healing meditation. You can just relax, stretch if you need to, move your hands and fingers. And I hope you enjoyed that.
Thank you so much, Lee. That was fantastic. It was really
Thank you. It was my pleasure.
Oh, it was an incredible experience and so much more vivid than I had anticipated.
I know. I really like bringing the imagery and the nature into. It's really a 5 element. We bring these elements of nature into the meditation because we want to feel this internal connection to our environment.
Yeah, that makes sense actually, because you've been talking a lot about, our physical environment, our inner environment, all of that. And, one of the things that's really surprising for me from this meditation compared to other meditations I've tried is that often when I come out of a meditative state, I feel like kind of sleepy.
Uh-huh.
And I actually feel incredibly alert right now.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it was actually very energizing.
It's a wonderful way to, it just, like I was saying in the meditation, it just flicks the switches on inside of ourselves that will make healing possible. It just turns these energy systems back on through the smiling meditation. It's just kind of like when you smile at somebody, you smile at a friend. What happens? It's contagious. They automatically smile back. And that's what happens with our internal energy systems and our internal organs. When you take time to smile inward, it's like the organs then respond and smile back and work more efficiently for you.
Oh, that's a great way of putting it. And I have never thought of it that way. But you're right. When you smile at someone, not only do they smile back, but it feels good.
That's right.
Like when you pass a stranger and you exchange a smile, like how good that feels.
Isn't that true?
Yeah.
There's a lot of studies on smiling and how powerful it is for healing, and that just confirms this kind of sort of ancient meditation practice. And the studies show that kids smile 400 times a day, and adults it's about 25 times a day. And I thought that was really interesting. The kids are always, smiling and having a good time, and this will help to bring out that kind of childlike, in the moment, spontaneous happiness that we're all kind of seeking in kind of funny ways.
Fantastic. I absolutely love it. So please tell us, how do we use this moving forward? Is this something that I should do again later today? Or,
right.
Is it something that I can do on my own? What do you recommend?
One thing recommend is just to smile more frequent kind of informally, like you said, just smile to people, create this positive energy in your daily life, and then do a little bit of this practice. It's really as simple as closing your eyes, taking some deep breaths, and turning that smiling energy inward to activate and to elicit a natural healing power that we all have within. Smiling creates what we call positive energy or positive qi, whereas when we're stressed and we kind of wrinkle our brow and we make a frown, it creates a different kind of energy. Your physiology, it leads to an emotional state. For example, if you take a deep breath and look up and smile at the same time, it's very hard to be depressed. In fact, if you want to be depressed, you actually have to look down and make kind of the opposite of a smile on your face. You can try it. Look up, take a deep breath and smile, and then say, "I'm so depressed." It just doesn't work.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
Right? You just tried it, didn't you?
I did. I had to look down in order to even think about the word.
Exactly. So you can change emotional energy by changing your posture, your facial features, and your breathing. We can just switch emotional energy, which is what we're talking about, emotional stress being one of the primary causes of physical pain or problems or disease. And we can break that cycle by changing some very simple things like changing our breathing or changing our facial structure.
Yeah, I think it's really cool what you're saying because, there's, and people joke like, oh, all positive thinking and whatever. But,
right.
but we know that positivity has a good effect on us, on our bodies, on our
Hmm.
lives, positive thinking, all of that. And
Right.
that's what you're saying. You're saying being positive is healing. And I think that
Positive.
what we experience is that it's just without the right tools, it's hard to stay positive in the world
Yeah.
today. And without the
Right.
right support, just thinking positive thoughts isn't necessarily going to get you there. And that's what I really love about the smile, because that is a little bit more tangible. It is a little bit more easy to control as well. To say, okay, I'm going to choose to smile right now versus like battling with your inner thoughts and having
Uh-huh.
that war go on.
Hmm. And it only takes, I mean, if you just take a really long, deep breath and look up and smile, even just a little bit, you'll notice that the energy changes. And that's really what we're talking about. How do we be skillful at working with our energy? And some very easy techniques are change your breath, change your posture, and change the energy on your face. And that will shift the energy, that'll shift the mood, because emotions really are energy. There's nothing tangible or physical about emotions. We can't put emotions in a test tube. We can't do an operation on emotions. We have to work with them on an energy level, and this is what Qigong is teaching us. It's becoming skillful at working with our energy, going from this one place being stressed into being in a more positive state or demeanor. And so we talked about, you were talking about positive thinking. There's really three kinds of mental energy. There's negative thinking, which causes stress. There's positive thinking, which helps us be more balanced and have a better outlook on life. And there's also being in quiet mental space where the mind is tranquil and relaxed. And you'll find that after doing an inner smile meditation where you're working on positive kind of energetic techniques, your mind will naturally go into a really tranquil, present moment oriented space, which is often another goal of the practice.
So it actually is intended to get people into a more peaceful state of mind through
That's
these
correct.
techniques. Okay,
Absolutely.
that's
Yeah.
fantastic. Wow, I gotta say, I really love Qigong.
It's amazing, right?
It is kind of amazing. Yeah. And I'm sure that many of you out there are feeling the same way that I am, that this incredibly simple and yet incredibly effective way of relating to your body through your breath and gentle movement and through visualization is something that you might want to learn more about. So I invite you now, if you want to learn more about Qigong or about Lee and his work, that you can click the button below on this page, and that will take you through to where you can learn more about Lee and his work, and also some of the other programs. You can study with him online through programs that he has, like Discover Chi. And it's really exciting to have had you on this call, Lee. What a great opportunity to learn from someone so knowledgeable, and you're so easy to listen to, and you're such a great teacher. You really helped chunk down a lot of the real mystery and kind of illusion around, like, oh, anything that, because I feel like even the name is kind of like, I don't know, that sounds scary. But
Right.
what
How do you even say this? Yeah.
is that? Yeah, I know it's spelled with
It's
a
it is
Q.
quite the opposite. It's like these wonderfully simple techniques to, help tap into who you want to be in the world.
That's fantastic. And you're a living testament to that as well, because you've been doing it for 27 years,
Yeah.
and you have a very vibrant and healthy life and family and business as well. And so it's just really an incredible thing. And I also know that many people who have been diagnosed with stress-related illness, especially stress-related illness, have been turning to Qigong to
Mm.
find relief.
And it's incredible. I've anything from, very severe illnesses, to just tension and tightness. Qigong helps your body respond in a way that's empowering and that helps to start this transformative process. I know I'm so surprised. I've used it for myself in, lots of healing situations because I'm a, crazy kind of weekend warrior, get out on my mountain bike or get in surfing in the ocean, playing soccer, and all of a sudden, you got a pain or a problem, and I have a tremendous amount of resources with all the qigong training I've had, and I'm like, wow, I'm still incredibly surprised on how well it works for me. And then I just get testimonials every day about how people have used Qigong for this or that ailment, and it's truly astonishing.
That's fantastic. Well, I can tell you, I'm going to start smiling more as of right now.
Absolutely.
I
Childlike spirit.
Childlike spirit, that's right. And thank you so much for sharing that incredible meditation. So for those of you out there listening, honestly, this is something you can start doing right away, as Lee said, with simply starting with a smile. And you'll also be able to listen to these meditations again. And Lee, again, thank you so much for talking to us. It is just a real joy to talk to you, truly a gift. And thank you all for listening. And remember to click through for more information. So, Lee, again, thank you so much.
Thanks, Kayleen. It was wonderful to be with you today, and keep that chi flowing, everybody.
Will do. And we will see you all in the next session of Project Heal Yourself. Thank you and farewell.